Hello everyone, Faraway Quarry here, and welcome to one of the best lots I've found in years. And the price I paid for all this will blow your minds. These are all of my Thomasd motorized finds. As you can see, I found a lot of items ranging from all eras of Thomasd's motorized history. Everything that you are seeing on this table came from the same lot. And the story of how I acquired all of this is actually really funny. Back in April, my family and I went to a flea market in the US. And let me be clear, this flea market has rarely disappointed me. But after some hours of searching, I didn't find anything that special. And right when I was about to call it quits, my mother saw in front of her two boxes filled to the brim with toys from vendors we have never seen before, including a bunch of Thomasd motorized trains. As soon as she saw them, she started to save all the Thomasd items and keep them away from other people's filthy hands. She asked the vendor to hold on to the Thomasd stuff while she was trying to contact me as soon as possible. So where was I while all of this was happening? I had my phone deactivated and my mom was just desperately trying to call me with no luck. After 20 minutes, I finally picked up, and you can imagine how the call went. I don't blame her at all for being upset with me. I rushed over to where my mother was, and we went to the vendor and saw two big boxes with a variety of Thomasd toys, ranging from Tomy, Trackmaster, Wooden Railway, and other miscellaneous items. But peeking through the boxes, I saw some Japanese playrail trains alongside the iconic blue track. So, as you can imagine, my eyes immediately jumped when I saw them. We told the vendor we wanted everything Thomasd related, and without thinking of it, the vendor gave us the price. So how much did you pay, Hugo? 100, 150, hikey prices? $40. $40? That's right, eat my heart out, Kaiki. Aside from these two box sets, I paid $40 for everything that you are seeing here, which is honestly one of the best deals I've gotten in the flea market. I'm still pretty shocked by this, not gonna lie. We put everything in two massive bags, and it wasn't until the very next day that I was able to properly check everything that I bought. And let me just say that I was surprised to see that not only was everything in great condition, but most of the items here are complete, especially the Japanese playrail items. There was a ton of track and tons of miscellaneous items. But what's amazing to me is the fact that I walked right past the same vendor and didn't see these boxes. I passed right through them. I truly must be blind. So this video is not only meant to be a grand finale to my flea market trilogy, but I would like to dedicate this video to my mother, as she is the one that found all this, and I can't thank her enough for this amazing find. She is the reason this video exists. So without further ado, let's see the brand new additions to my Thomasd motorized collection. So what's new? Now let me be clear for a bit. Motorized trains are not my favorite range to collect. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy collecting them, and I have a ton of nostalgia over them. They were my top G when I was little. But compared to the Wooden Railway or Fierro trains, the motorized items are the ones that I buy the least nowadays. Generally, they're more expensive to collect, and whenever I find some, there's a good chance that they don't work anymore. I sold most of my Trackmaster track and playsets years ago, and once the range was rebranded in 2014, I just lost all interest. I just disagree with Mattel's terrible decisions regarding this range in the past decade, but I would be lying if I said that they aren't a great range to collect. Far from it. This is still one of the best toy lines that ever came out of this franchise. Mostly, they move on their own with a simple battery. It's fun to see them run around the layout, and had a fantastic range of rolling stock. They will always look amazing on any layout you make. I still own most of my Playrail and Trackmaster trains and my original Tomy track, and this ginormous lot will be the perfect stepping stone to start investing on these items again. There are a lot of motorized items here, which I'm not complaining at all, but just looking at this, even I'm feeling overwhelmed. So before we look at the Thomasd brand items, how about we begin by looking at this generic Lego Duplo lot? Yes, we are starting with this. Let's get this out of the way first. This lot of pieces are from the Lego Duplo toy line, a variant of Lego specifically designed for younger children in mind, with bigger bricks and simpler playsets. And I know what you're saying. Hugo, this is not Thomas. This is a generic Duplo toy. We want to see the play rails. Where the play rails at, Hugo? I know I said we only went for the Thomas toys that day, but the vendor confused this for a Thomas related item and just threw it in. And I never bothered to correct him though. I couldn't pass on not owning this. I mean, it's a train. It isn't Thomas, but it's close enough, right? And besides, Lego Duplo did make Thomas products in the mid to late 2000s. Remember these? They were small little buildable Thomas toys and playsets. Something I think we all dreamed of at least once in our lifetime. They had a decent enough selection of characters and playsets. Nothing major, but all the essential characters were there. And Stanley. I specifically remember the Thomas playset as a wee lad. This set was hours of fun. It was a big, meaty set. My parents bought this for me at Toys R Us years ago. It had Thomas, a truck, a station, and a coal hopper. Have fun. So where is it, Hugo? I sold it. Are you surprised? Another common Hugo L, unfortunately. But now that I have this playset, I mean, it's not Thomas, but it's close enough, right? Lego Duplo is a range that I want to dive into someday. I cannot hate them. They look rather neat. I would love to own them one day, but this will have to do for now. I had to look this up, and it turns out that this lot is a mix of two sets. The first is set number 10874. It has a red locomotive, a station, and some figurines. Have fun. And the second is set 10882, which is an expansion set with 2 switches, 2 buffers, and a level crossing. Have fun. Although the lot is not complete as it's missing a few brick pieces and figurines, it does have all the track pieces, which is all I need to have fun. The set comes with a red train and a red passenger coach, and there is not much I can say in terms of the looks department. It's a generic red train made by Lego. You can remove the roofs, hours of fun, but this train has something the Thomas items never had. This thing is battery powered. Am I going to go through the effort of getting batteries? You underestimate my commitment to these kinds of toys. Yes, let's build the layout, shall we? I want to see this boy in action. Pretty cool, huh? With the pieces I had, I was able to build a decent layout. I made the best of what I found here, and by that I mean it's a circle with 2 sidings on each side. How creative. I was pretty confused at how the train worked as it has no conventional switch or button, but I figured out how it works. You see, all you have to do is give this bad boy a push and look at him go. Get trolled, bozo. Don't worry, everyone. The hours of fun are not done yet. All we need to do is give him a push and backward he goes. Hours of fun. And when you're done playing with this playset, all you need to do is just make the train stop and it will stop. Say it with me now. Hours of fun. I like this lot because the track is the same mold as the Thomas sets, so by the time I find the trains and accessories, I can have a nice meaty set for them to run on. So yeah, I only bought it for the extra track. I'm only human. But even so, it's a cute set, it has loads of play opportunity, and I can see my little 5-year-old self having tons of fun with this set. I mean, it's not Thomas, but it's close enough, right? Moving on from that, it's finally time to see what you clicked this video for. Trackmaster! These are all of my Trackmaster items from the lot. We got a ton of different engines and various types of track and accessories from different colors and sizes. We got some surprises along the way. I wouldn't call them neat, I would just call them surprises. So what's new? Wasn't that a lot of fun? Only 3 original Trackmaster and a plethora of lame ass cost cutting. Not gonna lie, if it wasn't for the play rails, I would have probably turned up blind eye on this lot. And that's because out of all the rebrands and cost cutting Mattel has made with the Thomasd brand, Trackmaster was the most egregious for me. I remember specifically saying to myself when they were first announced, no, I'm not okay with supporting this. They look awful, the overall quality feels cheap as hell, and the absolute biggest thing to me is making these things not freewheel, which is something I never knew was possible. So I pretty much swore on never ever buying a single modern Trackmaster item in retaliation. A rule I barely followed. I've changed my mind over the years with this range. Over the years, it has slowly started to grow on me, and thanks to this lot, I might start investing time and money to collect them. It might be a far cry of what came before, but at the end of the day, I think it is still Trackmaster. Just a lamer version of Trackmaster. So anyway, those were the trains. Let's see what else is new. Starting with this lot of great track and destinations. What is up with those, Hugo? This part of the lot is a collection of pieces for the Superstation. Something I hold in the highest regard. Most of the times I check this website, I only find Superstations, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to own one either. Let me explain. I don't hate the Superstation. I like the idea of merging all the main toy ranges into one massive playset, and man was Mattel determined to promote the hell out of the set, but I never liked just how cheap this looks, and it's an item that is always on sale on Facebook Marketplace. I don't doubt the set didn't sell well, I just think that it didn't stock with children. Like, parents bought this thing for their kids, they didn't play with it, it's just there accumulating dust, and it's taking too much real estate, so now parents are just desperately trying to get rid of it. All I'm saying is, this ain't never gonna beat the Trackmaster Roundhouse in Action Canyon. As you can see, I'm still missing a lot of pieces, including the main shed piece, but it has all the tracks, the risers, the crankies, and it even came with the manual. Man, that's a lot of tracks. So the idea of the track is that you can build a small little playset underneath the Superstation, and even the manual gives you layout ideas. Since I don't have the necessary pieces to form the complete Superstation, let's try to build a layout with the things I found. Out of all playsets, I'm gonna choose this one. Alright, challenge accepted. 3, 2, 1, go! Pretty cool, huh? So with the pieces I had, I was able to create this big, meaty playset. I'm honestly surprised at how much track it has, and the risers are just there for decoration. Think of them as signal gantries, and with all of this in mind, look at the fun I can have. Okay, Hugo, that's cool and all, but I wanna see some action. I forgot to mention this, but most of the items came with batteries included, and most of them still have some juice on them, so I wanna see some spills, chills, and thrills. Look at them go! Hours of fun. Man, just filming this was chaos. The trains just love derailing here, and I attribute that to the track design it has. It was made so you can put wooden railway push along and other ranges in mind. It might be a fun gimmick on paper, but the design is definitely flawed if you want to use it as Trackmaster track. Oh well, but the fun and games are still here. Well, I definitely had fun. I give this lot a pass. Moving on from that, we have an assortment of neon green tracks. But why are they green, Hugo? I had to look this up, and it turns out that these pieces are for the Hyperglow Night Delivery Set. The gimmick being that when Thomas rumbles over these tracks, they glow in the dark. A gimmick I'm always fond of. Like, how can you not resist of seeing your favorite characters glow in the dark? I mean, it's a gimmick that OG Trackmaster even toyed with for a while. Now the set has almost everything. The track pieces, risers, and another cranky that is missing its hook. And like the Superstation, it also came with a manual, obligatory manual montage. Note, if the engine runs continually for approximately 3 minutes, it will automatically shut off to preserve battery life. To resume play, press the button on the engine. Okay, whatever you say. I can't hold my excitement. I want to play with this right now. It's time to build this set, but there is a problem. It's daylight. I mean, I always film at broad daylight, so it's kind of impossible to see the glow in action. So let's fix that. Welcome to Late Night with Faraway Quarry. Not gonna lie, it feels so good to film at night for once, without the scorching desert Mexican sun. No joke, this is the hottest summer I've ever been through in my life. That's why it takes so long on filming these. And after analyzing the hell out of the manual, it's time to see what the set looks like assembled. Pretty cool, huh? It's a nice figure 8 set with a bridge overlapping it, and it also has a cranky, and when you turn its head, it does this. This is some creepy pasta or shit. Yeah, as you can see, Cranky doesn't have the hook, but I don't think it matters that much, right? The set only comes with one Thomas and a yellow truck. But in the lot, there was also a Nia, who is part of the glow-in-the-dark range of items. They have 2 LED lights at the bottom, and when turned on, not by a switch, but by a button, they start to glow. And aside from that, they have rather nice detail on the sides, and a variety of funky colors. It totally makes me forget the fact that they have a painted middle wheel. I'll let it slide this time. Alright, it's now time to turn off the lights and see this set in action. Man, Trackmaster sets be hitting different at dark. Sadly, it isn't as dark as I would have wished, as I have this massive street lamp beside my house that's shining quite a bit of light on them, but it's still dark enough for the set to work as intended. I hope the boogeyman is asleep tonight. I can't hold my excitement for much longer. It's finally time to see the light on the night train. 3, 2, 1, look at him go! Wasn't that a lot of fun? I bet if the lighting was darker, the glow effect would work way better. I hate you, but it still works just enough for you guys to get the idea. Well, that was fun, but it's time to finally turn on the lights again. The dark shadows are really starting to creep me out. So overall, it's a fine enough set. It glows in the dark, I like that. Glow in the dark sets are always fun. This era of Trackmaster is known for their underwhelming sets, but this is one of those rare Trackmaster W's. I really recommend you get this set. I give it a thumbs up. And that's it. Moving on. Since we're here, let's continue on to the next chapter. The Horsemen of the Apocalypse. These are 3 big Thomasd items. They are not part of any particular range. They are just some big Thomasd items with their own stupid gimmicks. Now these 3 should have been on the intro of the video since they were part of the $40 lot, but I forgot about them. Oops. No, I usually don't collect these. I typically associate them with dumb little baby toys. But then I realized, motherfucker, you collect dumb little baby toys for a living. What are you talking about? But before we look at these 3 bozos, let's first take a look at this thing. This is a little Thomas photo viewer. There is a small little glass lens at the backwards. What the fuck? There is a small little glass lens at the back, and when you put your eye up close, you can see some images on there. You'll have to excuse me, this is the only way I figured out how to zoom into the lens. It's a bunch of CGI pictures. You're not missing out on much, trust me. To change the picture, you need to turn on this little crank, and man, it's stiff as hell. And that's about it. That's kinda neat. Glad to have this in the collection. I have nothing more to say. Next we have this Thomas. I know it looks like something out of All Engines Go, but I remember seeing these in stores since way before that was a thing. I like this one because it has a really fun gimmick. When you press it and let it go, it does a little backflip. Look at him go. Now isn't that fun? I might not like how babyish this looks, but damn, I can't hate on those rich backflips.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
Next we have this other Thomas, the biggest out of the 3. Now I've never seen this Thomas before, so I don't know what the gimmick is, but first impressions are, this looks pretty neat. It looks like Thomas, has a decent face, and has tire tracks, which means he is motorized somehow. Looking at the bottom, there is a battery compartment. Opening this up, it requires 3 AA batteries. Looks good. Turning this bad boy on. And it's finally time to see what the gimmick is. What can possibly go wrong? What the fuck just happened? Motherfucker just took off? Bro for real said, hell nah, screw this. I'm out. That's the most gangster shit I've ever seen in my life. 5 seconds in, and this guy already tried to off himself. Okay. I learned my lesson. This toy maybe was not designed to be on tables. Let's put him on the ground and see if it bears much better. Okay, no. This thing just flat out wants to stop existing. Man, I never knew being a marketable Thomas toy had its downsides. Let me put this away then. No. I'm never turning this on again. Finally, we have the 3rd Thomas. My favorite 040 tank engine. Man, I always hate it when Thomas toys skip on the middle wheels. And this thing does not work. It came with a little remote controller. I put the batteries on both of them, which is a lot of batteries, goddamn. And I turned them on, and the Thomas talks.
Hello, it's Thomas.
But there is no action. I tried pressing the controller in different angles and nothing worked. I'm not sure if these were even bundled together. I have to assume so, since the controller doesn't work with the other Thomas I have. Well, this sucks. I have nothing more to say. It's just a lame-ass Thomas toy. So yeah, that was that. I'm not planning on selling these or throwing them away, because I think they still have merit to them. Except you. I'm still not over it, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't do this right. Like, maybe I need to put some battery... Okay, that was God telling me I should just move on and go back to daylight. It's a beautiful summer day with absolutely no clouds in sight. Man, I just hate those pesky clouds. I love Mexican summers. Anyway, it's time to film the next... Oh, what's this? There's a note.
Dear pesky Hugo, please stop procrastinating and review us already, you fucking dumbass. Yours truly, the continent of Australia.
Haha, what a nerd, am I right? Well, you know me, I just do what the boxes say. So long before I found the $40 lot, I found these two box sets. I've been wanting to talk about them since last year, and I'm just now getting to them. My time. As you can see, both are from completely different eras of motorized Thomas history, so let's get to them already. It's been long overdue. The first set I found is called the Monkey Palace set, a set based on Big World Big Adventures, my favorite era of Thomas and Friends. It's a small circle set with some small destinations with monkeys, and before you ask, no, I didn't rip the Thomas out. Someone yoinked the Thomas and wagon out of the set. Yay! But no worries everyone, as I just happened to find the exact Thomas that came with this set back at the $40 lot.
Monkey!
And yeah, that sure is a Monkey Thomas. And I haven't opened the set yet. I don't know if this thing is complete or not. Not that I care really. It might not be the greatest set ever made, but I don't know. I merely bought it because I find the set funny and I like monkeys. Monkeys are cool.
Monkey!
In contrast to that, we have this absolute beauty. This is the Steam Along Thomas set, released in 2005 during the 60th anniversary of Thomas and Friends. It's a big, meaty set with loads of track, and I mean loads of track, and it includes the greatest thing ever made by mankind, the Steam Along Thomas, my absolutely favorite toy ever made. It's a Thomas with puffing smoke and a beautiful coat of metallic blue. Humanity peaked when this toy was made, I'm telling you. And let me give you a quick TLDR. I found this set right around December for, again, 500 pesos. Sadly, the box is not in great condition. There is a lot of water damage all throughout the box, but it's still standing though. It still holds up. Like, you can still look at all the pictures and graphics and you can tell what everything is. Like, it could be much worse. The set has all the pieces, and I mean all the pieces, but unfortunately the Thomas does not work, so I'm planning to fixing this thing whenever I get the chance. This is the first box set in my collection. The second being the Take Along Working Hard set, and like the Working Hard set, a review of this will have to be its own video. Alongside the Funky Monkey set, a double teething review, if you will, so be on the lookout for when that video comes out. In 5 years from now. And speaking of Thomies, it's finally time to see the highlight of the $40 lot. The moment we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the highlight of the lot. Trackmaster again. Nah, just kidding. It's Playrail time, baby! These are all of the Playrail items from the $40 lot. As you can see, we have a lot to show, including American Motor Road and Rail Trains, or Tomy for the homies, an assortment of the iconic Blue Track, and most importantly, complete Japanese Playrails. There is so much to show here. Where do I even begin? How about we first look at the American Playrail trains, or Motor Road and Rail, or Tomy items, whatever you want to call them, and some other cool miscellaneous items. So what's new? Wasn't that a lot of fun? These might seem like not that many items here, but hey, how can you not resist on getting some good old Tomies? They look in great condition, and man do they bring me loads of memories. Like, I forgot just how awesome these look. As for the extras though, first we have pullbacks Thomas and Percy. They call them pullbacks because when you pull them back, well, see for yourself. Look at them go! Hours of fun. Man, a lot of things are falling off the table today. I remember owning these back in the day, and man, they still creep me out. It seems like no matter where you look at them, they always look at you back. That's some scary stuff right there. Also, we have this. thing. I'm putting this here because this is from the Thomas Big Loader set and was distributed by Tomy, so it counts. And yeah, that's about it. Alright everyone, you waited long enough. It's finally time to see the Japanese playroll items from the lot. You might have noticed I've been hyping the fuck out of these ones throughout the whole video. If you're new to the Thomas scenes and you don't know what a playroll or Japan is, let me explain. Takara Tomy, or just Tomy in the US, was the company responsible for making and distributing Thomas motorized toys on Japanese and American regions. Known as playroll in Japan and motor road and rail in the USA, they both coexisted peacefully with no problems whatsoever. Until it didn't. Eventually in the USA, the Tomy license was bought out by the Hit Toy Company in 2007 and rebranded the line as Trackmaster. The iconic blue track was changed to a different design, but it retained the same idea and charm as Tomy. The line was bought out by Fisher-Price in 2010 and changes started to be made. The overall quality was cheaper, and when Mattel took over the franchise in 2012, they eventually redesigned again into what we know Trackmaster today, a shell of its former self. Yeah, thanks for the history lesson, Hugo, but why does this matter? You see, in Japan, Tomy never lost the Thomas license and continued making their motorized toys as if nothing had happened. It was business as usual. So what we have here is two different regions, both making their own range of Thomas toys with no input from the other whatsoever. And while the American Thomas items develop into a bunch of eeks, yikes, and gross, Playroll retained that same charm and quality from their prime. 9 times out of 10, their items were always superior to whatever we got in the West. I always look at what Japan is doing and then learn what the definition of MB is. If you want to buy Playroll trains, you have to go to Japan or import them to wherever you live. So obviously, as soon as I saw them on those boxes, I was shocked. I never expected to ever find playrolls at my flea markets, and to see that all of these are complete is insane to me. I mean, just buying one of these alone cost around $40 plus shipping, and I got 5 playrolls and a bunch of other stuff for just $40. That is insane to me. Like, what are the chances, really? Last time I found a lot of this scale was back in 2017. It was a bunch of wooden railway trains and track, and it was $20 total. And it was also an Easter, huh? Like, I'm insanely thankful that my mom found this lot and told the vendors to hold on to them while she was trying to get a hold of me. But enough about me gloating to you guys. It's finally time to see the new playrails in my collection. So what's new? The first item here is Streamlined Thomas. Yes, based on the 2016 movie, The Great Race, where Thomas has a whole musical number of wanting to be streamlined. Absolute banger song. And the playroll version is one of the best items I've ever seen. It looks so amazing. It's so nice to look at. Look at the detail. And the face is really accurate, which is what you want to see. And I like how Annie and Clarabelle are the exact same mold as their old counterparts. Like, same graphics, same faces, it's just now in a blue coat of paint. Well, yeah, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And yeah, this Thomas is truly a banger. I love it. But this item has a really fun play feature. The item has 2 different speeds, the normal playroll speed and turbo speed. And you can switch from turbo speed to normal speed with the flick of the switch. Tell me that isn't the coolest thing ever. I need to play with this right now. Alright, the item has a battery now, and it's time to finally take out the Tomy test wheel. Here is a comparison of the item's different speeds. And with all of this in mind, look at the fun I can have. Hours of fun. Speaking of streamlined items, next we have a streamlined Gordon, also based on the Great Race movie from 2016. Absolute banger song again. And the playroll toy, again, one of the best items I've ever seen. Not much to say here that it didn't say with the Thomas, but it is better because it's Gordon. I like Gordon. It's a superb model all around, and it even has a blue express coach. How fun. And I come from a generation when the big Tomy trains were hardwired into the tender, and you had to put the battery on the tender and close it with a cold piece. And yeah, that's not a thing anymore. Times have indeed changed, huh? It has the same turbo speed as Thomas, and with all of this in mind, look at the fun I can have. Hours of fun. Man, these 2 items are so much fun. I really recommend them if you like playroll in any capacity. Okay, moving on. The next two items are Connor and Caitlin. I'm killing two birds with one stone here. I put them together because they are in the same boat to me. They look detailed and accurate. I like the faces, especially Connor. Look at the wheels. Look at them, aren't they neat? Although Caitlin came complete with her express coach, Connor was the only player role that was incomplete. Yeah, I searched everywhere and I couldn't find the express coach. But hey, we can't always win, right? And yeah, I have nothing more to say. Let's see them in action. Hours of fun. For some reason, Connor was significantly slower than Caitlin. Might be a motor issue, I don't know. Lastly, we have Ashima, the pink engine. And unfortunately, it's not one of Playreal's best. I get that it's such a hard character to get right, as she has some insane paintwork on her. But I feel like Playreal could have made a better job with her. But even said that, it's still pretty good though. It still has the Playreal charm to it. And she even comes with a tanker and a brake band, how fun. Also, on a side note, Playreal also made this shorter version of Ashima, and for the life of me, I still don't understand what this is and why was it made. But even so, I give it a pass. It's still a fun character to own. Yeah, I have nothing more to say. Let's see her in action. So yeah, those were all of my Thomas Playreals from the lot. Some great items, they ooze quality all around, and man is Japan living better lives than the rest of us. Now we can move on to... No, wait, we're not done yet. This is a Playreal not Thomas related. I mean, you can tell, right? It doesn't even have a face. He can't even sneeze. So Playreal, aside from making Thomas and Friends toys, they also make real-life locomotives from their homeland, like bullet trains, steam trains, electrics, and this is one of them. I'm not sure what locomotive this is based on. If any of you guys have any more info in the comments, please let me know. I might slightly care. So anyway, the front engine has a motor in it and needs a C battery if you're curious. And the back engine is a dummy, like it doesn't have a motor, it's just there for show. And it also came with a great variety of rolling stock. How much you say? Well... pretty cool, huh? The rolling stock includes 3 tankers from various colors, 3 container wagons, 2 empty flatbeds, and 2 gray flatbeds with removable loads. Just look at all these. I had to use 7 pieces of straight track just to make everything fit. I'm not complaining though, not one bit. You know what they say, the more rolling stock, the better. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to see some heavy freight trains rolling. Look at them go! And I don't know about you guys, but I want to see some heavy freight trains rolling. Look at them go! hours of fun. So yeah, those were all the play reels from the $40 lot. Yes, for real this time. We have no more train items to look anymore. I think we viewed everything already. Oh no, we haven't. We still have this small little thing to look at. This is Capsule Play Reel Rosie. My favorite Rosie out of all the Capsule Play Reel Rosies. And it looks fine. And yeah, we are done. There's no more. I never thought I would get this far. The only thing left really... Yeah, I have time. This is a lot of the iconic Tomy Blue Trent. Everything from straight pieces, switches, curves, and more. Including 3 main destinations. A Japanese station platform, a dinky ass tunnel, and a yellow level crossing. No risers or ascending track, but I bet I can make a pretty decent layout with the pieces I found. What? You think I can't? I'm a master layout builder, I'll have you know. Graduated from the Navy SEALs. You speaking with one of the veterans of Tomy layout builders. I was there when Tomy was still in stores, motherfucker. And you're gonna tell me that I can't build a decent layout? Bring it on then. 3, 2, 1. Pretty cool, huh? With a little bit of ingenuity and creative thinking, I was able to make this beast of a layout. I told you guys, I still got it. I'm honestly surprised at just how big this is. It's almost as big as this table, and there is also some room for further expansion. Man, how I miss doing a Tomy layout. I haven't done one of these bad boys in years, and man, it's just as beautiful as when I last saw them in action. And now my Japanese trains can have a big, meaty layout for them to run on. And yeah, we're done. Yeah, for real this time. So how about we end this video with a bang. The race of the century. A show-off between Streamline Thomas and Shooting Star Gordon. Place your bets, everyone. Thank you guys for seeing the Flea Market Trilogy. Truly, one of the most fun videos I've ever had to make. And unfortunately, it will be my last until winter time. My next semester of college is about to begin soon, and I need to focus on that 100%. My biggest disappointment of this saga was not being able to work on part 6 of my Water Railway collection video. Unfortunately, it must be delayed again. I know. How dare I have a life. Sorry for the disappointment, but I hope this trilogy of videos was worth it in the end. I hope you guys understand. As always, I would like to give a massive thanks to my mom and dad, especially my mother, since without her, this video would have not been possible. She is the reason this video exists, and I can't thank her enough. Send her some love in the comments, please. She deserves it. And as always, I would like to shout out my patrons in here. As for the next video that it's in this style, it will probably come out till winter time. I will truly miss you guys, but I will come back stronger than ever. In the meantime, see you guys next time. Adios.